Ain't gonna lie, am I tripping or does bro look like he's AI or something? Like bro got on lipstick and his eyebrows is cut. You know what I'm saying? He's missing his eyebrows. He looks like he's 12, to be honest. I don't know what's going on with his hair right here. Is that like some medical thing or... But I don't know. Am I tripping or does he look fake? I might be tripping, to be honest.
Boy, only 14 years old when he shoots and kills a mother after a minor fender bender.
Ma'am, I'm gonna cut your seatbelt, okay? I'm Officer Ripper with the Denver Police Department, okay?
Just hours after shooting her in cold blood, he cries to his own mother at the police station.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Bro, 14 is wild.
Stop.
Today's case takes us to Denver, Colorado, where on February 20th, 2021, 32-year-old Pamela Cabrialis was on her way home from dinner with a friend. According to local TV station KUSA, Pamela's family says she was extremely giving, passionate, and loving. They describe her as a social butterfly who was always there if you needed her. Pamela worked as a real estate agent, and she was also a mother to her 6-year-old son, Leo.
That champagne, no?
This part does.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoy it.
In pictures and in videos, Pamela seems happy and full of life. But all of that changed 4 years ago this month. Pamela was behind the wheel of her Range Rover, driving along Interstate 25 that goes right through Denver. When she stopped at a red light at an intersection of I-25 and Colfax, shots rang out. We now know the person shooting was then 14-year-old Remy Cordova. Cordova was in the passenger seat of another car.
What is going on? I thought the first pick was bad. What is this right now? Bro, this is I don't even know.
That was driven by this guy named Nishan Johnson. Cordova had thought that the car had been tapped by Pamela's in a small fender bender. And according to court docs, he said, quote, "Can I bust on them?" Johnson then replied, "Do what you gotta do. That's on you." According to KUSA, Cordova got out of the car with an AR-15 and fired 15 to 20 shots into Pamela's Range Rover.
So he's riding with bro over here. Right, which he's probably in the gang. And someone hit your car and... What? Like, there's not even no gang related shit though. Like catching an innocent body. That's not even gang related. That's just... a car crash. How about with AR-15? Bro, I have no words. I have no words.
Guy named Nishan Johnson. Cordova had thought that the car had been tapped by Pamela's in a small fender bender. And according to court docs, he said, quote, "Can I bust on them?" Johnson then replied, "Do what you gotta do. That's on you." According to KUSA, Cordova got out of the car with an AR-15 and fired 15 to 20 shots into Pamela's Range Rover. Witnesses on the scene say at first they didn't even know what was happening.
Then I heard pop, 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 pop. And at first it didn't register what was happening. And
like what if you're the 14-year-old, what is going through your mind where you think that that's gonna impress him or something? Like, let's be real. Like, none. You're not putting in any work. That's none. That's none. There's none to do with none. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. to her, man.
Until the cars in the 2 lanes next to me started going, and then I realized I said, "Oh shit, something's happening," and I ducked down, and several more happened, and I pulled next to the car, barely got a glance. It looked as though the window was either rolled down or shot out, but I believe that the window was out. I didn't look at the windshield or see inside the vehicle.
He walked
And
down
then
on him.
the car that was in front of them sped off. I went behind them, but pretty far back because they went pretty quickly, and got off on Federal. So they went straight and I got off on Federal, and I didn't obviously see what occurred because the car
Wait, so
was
he didn't kill the
obstructing my
driver?
view. So I didn't know at the time if the shots came from the car in front or inside the vehicle. But that's what I saw.
Okay.
That's Jaden Aarons, who was driving home from an appointment at the time of the shooting.
You said
Oh,
you
it was
heard
somebody else. All right.
multiple pops. You went pop, pop, pop,
Yeah.
pop. How many of those do you think you heard the first time?
I'm
In your
gonna
estimation.
call it 5 to 7 perhaps.
Okay, and then you said you ducked down and heard several more pops. How many more do you think you heard?
Perhaps 3.
Okay.
And the break in between the two was a second or 2
Okay.
that it paused.
Sure.
It wasn't very long.
And you never saw anybody get in or out of any vehicles?
No.
Okay.
I, in my mind, thought it was fireworks or something.
Sure.
And just wasn't paying attention.
When you go around the car you're in front of, why do you go around the car?
Because the other 2 cars did it, and I felt like I was in danger, and I heard the shots coming, and I was ducking down, and I thought maybe they were going to hit me.
Okay.
I was scared to go that way because, again, I didn't know if they were coming from that vehicle, but I couldn't go any other way, so.
This may seem like a really dumb question. If you can articulate it more, why did you feel you were in danger? Tell me more about that.
Because I recognized the sound of gunshots, and I thought perhaps one was going to hit me.
Were you scared?
Not really until after, because it didn't really register. It was definitely like weird. So I was like, my awareness was heightened, but it still didn't register.
Tell me more about why you duck.
Because I thought I was going to get.
There were more witnesses too, like Alex Martinez, who was driving home from a soccer game.
When he got out, he had his hoodie on, and he turned to face towards north, and all I see is the side of his forehead, so literally right here.
Okay.
And then that's when I noticed that he lifted up his arm, and his arm was being covered by the top of the car. And I'm in a Ford Edge, so I say it's a pretty big car. He was about like 5'6", 5'7", and that's when I noticed that he had a gun.
Bro.
So my first instinct when I heard it was to get down just in case if they started shooting towards me. I did not physically see the weapon.
Okay.
I seen the light from when you shoot the gun, and you have the light and the sound.
Okay.
So that's what I heard. I heard the toof, toof, toof.
So the light, like the muzzle flash, we call it. It's like the like when you
fire
fireworks,
yeah.
or you fire a gun and
Yeah.
and it comes out. Those gases escape. And what color was that you saw?
When I looked over, the first time I heard it, I got goosebumps. So I looked over, and I just remember seeing white. So.
Okay, but you saw the muzzle flash.
Yeah.
Is what we call it.
Yeah, the muzzle flash.
Coming out. How many times do you think you saw flashes?
About 6 times.
Okay. Did you hear the person that got out from the right front passenger seat of that car? Did you hear him say anything?
No.
Did you hear them yell anything?
No, not really. I didn't hear anything at all because my music I had my music loud because I'm a big fan of music, and I had my music going, and then that's when I heard the first gunshot go off, and I look over, and then I just see the light, like the white, whatever you guys call it, and then that's when I got goosebumps down my arm because I just knew that. But when I was driving away, I noticed one.
I ain't gonna lie, the bro in the car with him. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be his OG, someone he look up to, I think. Just because he looks way older than bro. The fact that he let this go through, like, I don't even know, man.
In the rear, poke his head out, like look back.
Tell me more about that.
So I was going, because my first instinct was to get away because I was scared.
Okay.
So I was going, and then I was trying to get away quickly as possible. And I look in the rear mirror, and I see the Range Rover in there. And I look in, and I see the Honda coming, and I just see a head go like this, but it had a hoodie on. So.
Okay, and was that from the front area of the car or the rear area of the car? So from the passenger side or driver's side?
Driver's side. It was a black hoodie.
Okay. So it came from the driver?
Yeah, the driver's side.
So put an arrow in red the direction he shoots at. And this sounds silly, but what led you to believe he was shooting in the direction of that car?
Well, cause when he started shooting, I noticed that the light from when he shot it was going backwards.
Okay.
So I was like, all right. So and I ducked down, and that's when I lifted up my head just to take a peek, and that's when I seen his arm on the side of the car facing backwards.
Okay.
After the shooting, Cordova and Johnson sped off in their car as first responders rushed to the scene.
Ma'am, I'm gonna cut your seatbelt, okay? I'm Officer Leffer with the Denver Police Department, okay?
Here's the scene from another perspective.
I'm just gonna keep some pressure on him, okay?
Yeah.
Hey, she took quite a few, about 4 or 5 rounds to the face.
How many? Is just she the only victim?
She's the only victim. She's probably bleeding. Let me see if I can find an ID in her purse. Yeah. I don't know how you want to do this. You want to put the seat back as soon as you get to her? Hey, Scott, hold that seat. It's not going. Is there anything behind the seat? No.
Call electric. Hang on, I got it.
Is that her purse? Yeah, I'm trying to find an ID. Is there more than anybody else? No, it's just one person. Could you hold that open while I look through it, please? Thanks. Okay, grab the scoop real quick. Check in this pocket.
160, I got 7 gunshots to the front and 3 heads to the back.
Nothing.
7 shots from AR.
Northbound or southbound off-ramp closed.
You coming head first? Hold on, where do you go head first? Hold on.
You got the head out towards the cap. Head toward me. Here.
This next part is really tough. You can see the rear window of Pamela's Range Rover has been completely shot out.
I counted 8 shots. 8? Yeah, there's one right above the left windshield wiper. So that's 2 out of, like right there.
The license plate is probably hers.
That's the same one as on the back.
Okay, that's probably hers.
Another angle shows Pamela being loaded into an ambulance. Now, we won't show that part because it is graphic, but here are the moments leading up to it.
I'll be there, man.
Nothing.
Hey Jared, did you need the northbound or southbound off-ramp closed?
You coming head first?
Let's do southbound for now. Hopefully everybody going north will figure it out. Copy, 1FM.
We'll get a couple of these. I'm going to take a couple fires.
Do you guys need an extra set of hands for anything?
Yes.
Just say when.
160 out of the DHMC1. We're going to have one coming down and 163 Baker's going to follow. Yep, are you ready?
Do you know how this happened?
No, other than somebody called in and said gunshots fired between 2 cars. I wasn't able to get a description of the other vehicle.
Okay, here she comes.
Even though Pamela was rushed to the hospital, she died several days later. Meanwhile, investigators were still working to track down the suspects involved in her shooting. The next day, a Denver police officer spotted a car wanted from a separate incident. There had been this gang shooting at a McDonald's where multiple shots were fired. And at the time, the cop didn't realize this car was also involved in Pamela's shooting, but they did know the people inside needed to be questioned. This led to a small chase, and it's something Nishan Johnson talked about during his police interview.
We're driving, and we get to the light. Police was on side. They get to the side, the back of us. They get behind us. I take a right, they drive. Take a left, they keep following. And then I try to take another right, but the ice was too slippery. So I hit the curb, and that's when they turned the lights on us.
Tell me more about the conversation in the car. Who notices the police either on the side of you or behind you?
I mean, we all did, to be honest, because when you're looking at when you at the stop sign, you're gonna look at your window.
Okay.
And then when I looked out the window, I seen the police pull up.
What is the conversation in the car?
Really wasn't no conversation in the car, but they could go.
I'm sorry?
I said it wasn't no conversation in no car, but go.
You already know what they own.
But go?
Yes.
Why was that?
I don't know.
Okay. Earlier you told me because you didn't have a license.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't have no license, but that's what they was telling me. You said what was the conversation?
Okay.
You said what conversation did we have while the police was behind?
I already know what the deal is.
And who was telling you to go?
Little bro. He was like, bro, just go. You feel me? I mean, don't have no license. You feel me? Not finna pull off.
Did little bro say he was hot?
Nah. He was like, nigga, go.
Okay.
You know how nowadays this young generation is gonna run from the police or do anything from the police now, you feel me? So
you listened to him. So you listened to him and you went.
That's how it was, you feel me? Because after they turned on their lights, everybody started panicking.
Tell me how they panicked. How did you know they panicked, Nishan?
Cause you know when police get behind you sometimes and you know you ain't doing nothing, like me. When I know I ain't do nothing wrong, I wasn't really panicking, but what made me really panic was because they was all going like, bro, come on, go. And I don't have a license. I was like, bro, that is true, God, I ain't stopping. Fuck it, come on. And I hit the car and everything, you feel me? So it was like everything would happen so quick. And when he was like, go, bro, go, I was like, all right, fuck it. I don't have no license, none of that, come on.
Police eventually tracked Johnson down to a shed where he was hiding, and that's where they found some incriminating evidence.
You know why I'm asking all these questions? Because the shed we were found in, those shell casings match at our murder scene. Can you explain that to me? And you said nobody's in the shed with you. Okay? You're in there by yourself. But the same caliber shell casing that's in the shed where you're at is the same caliber at our murder scene. Can you explain that to me if nobody handed you anything?
No, nobody handed me nothing.
Okay, so how did that end up in the shed with you? Oh, you gonna cut it?
I don't know.
Okay. So I'm asking you, this is your chance to be honest, okay? And I'm not saying you're not, so please don't be offended by that. Okay, but I don't know is not gonna cut it. As I told you before when we first started, it's a homicide investigation. I told you you're not free to leave, okay? You remember that? Okay. If you were there for something or somebody asked you to hold on to something, I need to know, okay? And not just for myself, but for yourself. You got a kid, right?
2.
You want to see those kids grow up?
Yes.
Do you want to be able to hold them and not be behind glass when you see them? Or do you want them to come and visit you during yard time? Again, I'm not threatening you, I'm not upset with you, but I'm telling you, this is the road we're going down. You're digging yourself a hole here, so if you have something, you know something, Nishan, now's the time to tell me. Okay, you tell me you were by yourself when you ran. Nobody else was in that shed. I asked you several times that question. You're adamant nobody was.
Is it we gonna tell?
Okay. So it's one of two things. Either you were there at that murder scene, or somebody gave you something to hold on to. So now's your chance to help yourself. Don't dig yourself a hole. You got one foot in this hole right now, Nishan. Okay?
You got two.
Investigators spoke with Johnson for more than 5 hours on multiple occasions, and honestly, they didn't get very much, but they got even less info from Remy Cordova.
I'm going to advise you of your rights, and then I'm going to leave the room.
Man, don't hold on to him, Mom.
You two need to talk about whether or not you want to talk about this investigation or not. Okay? You okay, ma'am?
I'm sorry, Mom.
Stop. The woman next to Cordova in this video is his mom, because remember, he's only 14 years old at the time. As the detective walks back in, you can hear Cordova apologize to his mother.
I'm sorry.
Okay, it's still February 21st, 2021. According to that clock, it's now 10:05 p.m. And I've given you and your mom opportunity to talk about this investigation.
Fuck out of here.
Let me ask you, did you understand the rights as they have been explained to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Not even dumb. It's I don't even know, bro.
Do you have any conflict with your mom that would prevent her from providing you with guidance and advice about your rights? No? With these rights in mind, are you willing to talk to us about this investigation?
No, sir.
No?
No. But even though Cordova didn't talk, investigators already knew a bit about him because he had a juvenile criminal record and was on police's radar as a gang member. Prosecutors later said that Cordova's motivation in Pamela's murder was to rise up the ranks in this gang world. Cordova's case eventually moved from juvenile court to district court because of the severity of the crime. He was charged as an adult with first-degree murder and first-degree attempted murder. That second charge was added because another driver had been in the line of fire when Cordova had fired the shots. Now, that person was not injured, so the charge became attempted murder. In November of last year, Cordova was found guilty. He's since been sentenced to life in prison with a possibility of parole in 40 years. Nishan Johnson has also been convicted for his involvement in the case. In June 2023, he was sentenced to 35 years in prison.
Man, send him to jail for life. Fuck all that.
Pamela, her family says her memory lives on.
14, doing some dumb, not even dumb. It's not even dumb. Let me know what y'all think about this video. This shit is wild to me. This is the most crazy video I done seen. I ain't gonna lie. Subscribe if you're new. Other than that, I'm gone. I'm finna catch y'all. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. No Carol.